And welcome back to Contemporary Black Voices, where our main topic today is about Mother Biola Fletcher, the last survivor of the Tulsa massacre. One of the things that we have been discussing is, of course, her fight for reparations, what happened to the money that forced the argument. And now, how do we take her legacy to roll it into our fight for reparations today? Of course, there's been all kind of arguments as to why, quote unquote, we shouldn't get reparations. You know, the weakest argument I heard was, if you give them reparations, they're not going to spend the money right.
Why don't have to be money? It might be housing, it might be some free land, it might be some free education, no more paying for textbooks, it might be a whole bunch. It don't even have to be about the money, number one. Number two, it's kind of like somebody telling me one day, I gave $2 to a homeless guy out of my window, and then somebody telling me one day, he probably gonna go buy some wine with that money. And I said, yeah, if he does, so what? So what? Because sometimes people who are homeless, the only medication they're going to get is the wine. So that $2 may help him from going crazy. So you can't just look at it that way. So, but I don't think reparations, they keep attaching dollars as in cash to the idea of reparations. It doesn't have to be that. It might be all kinds of free medical care, no more insurance payments, all kinds of ways to do it. So I don't know where they get stuck on this idea. Everybody gets $100,000. We don't even need to be talking about it that way.
I know you've got your thoughts and opinions.
I got a lot of thoughts and opinions on a lot of things. So, I don't even know where to begin. So, what you want me to do? Reparations or?
Go ahead and talk about reparations. You and I have had discussions about it. What are your thoughts?
A lot of times you hear the argument against reparations, and it comes from folks who says, you know what, my I didn't benefit from it, or or it was so long ago. Slavery was so long ago. Can we just get over it? Or no one who's alive ever owned slaves, right? So you hear all these different arguments that they come forward with, right? The same folks who have that argument, right? So we're from San Antonio, right? We're from San Antonio. These same folks that have this argument are the same folks that you see out there protesting at SeaWorld saying that we need to let these whales go free, right? They didn't capture the whales. Nobody who captured those whales are alive today, right? But they take ownership from that. They say, we need to fix that. We need to repair the damage that our ancestors did in capturing these whales, right? You can see humanity in something that is not human, but you can't see humanity in our black skin, right? So the argument itself falls on its face. You see what I'm saying? So the same sympathy and compassion, and the same way you want to rectify those kind of damages, you need to have that same kind of, you know what I mean? You glorify Shamu's black skin, but you hate Tamir Rice's. So
they want black folks to forget about slavery. They don't want to forget about the Alamo.
Right. So I don't want to go there today. I just had a happy Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna behave today. But it just, all of the arguments they put forward are utterly ridiculous. And so the other thing I know we touched on previously about the honoring the disbursement of the bodies and searching for the bodies and stuff like that. There's a whole field of research called necropolitics. And what that talks about is who gets to honor their dead and who doesn't. And the way you honor your dead, it sends a message about where you belong in the society. And so them, by dispersing those bodies and covering them up with a highway and building a highway over them, it sends a message about our value in this society and how they view us. So everything these folks have done has been to amplify that message and has been to amplify white supremacy, which is a tool of capitalism.
It is.
Well, that's what it is.
And that's a great point, but let me add this to it too. It just kind of hit me one day. I'm thinking about the guy that was a slave at the Alamo. They kept calling him Joe the slave. What happened to his last name? And then all of a sudden, this little connections started happening. Aunt Shemima, what happened to her last name? Uncle Ben, he has no last name either. So what's Annie from Popeye's Chicken? She ain't got no last name. So the way they would like burying stuff, not only physically burying or running expressways over top of black or brown graveyards or Native American graveyards, they also kept you from having any dignity at all by not having a last name.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it all goes hand in hand with white supremacy, which again is nothing but a tool of capitalism.
Yeah, there's a lot we can say about, even though she was not, I know Fred may say something about, say this, she wasn't a major character in the massacre, but she was one of the survivors who lived the longest. And just her fight in her hundreds for reparation, trying to give those survivors and those generations money owed, is one that we need to admire. Because the insurance companies, they were in on the scam. We're just going to say because it was a race riot, that's why we're not going to pay for them. So there's a lot that we can, that energy that she has, if we really want the reparations, we're going to have the same energy. We're going to have to push for, I know we won't be able to push for it under this administration, but maybe the next administration will be a little bit more open-minded to listen and say, okay, come to the Hill and talk about it.
Caleb had a good point earlier, if I may touch back on that a second, about what she went through as a 7-year-old. And the moment you said that, it crossed my mind as being 7 years old and looking out the window and seeing black people running and whites shooting them in the back right across the front yard. And I mean, that'll give you pain that'll last a lifetime. And then for her not to let that destroy her, because it could have. That kind of stuff destroys a lot of people.
Yeah.
You wasn't going to let it destroy her, but for her to continue on, I'm going to make the best. I'm not going to let them destroy me. I'm going to turn that table around, and I'm going to make the best of it by talking about reparations and all the other stuff that she did. Brave person, able to put that post-traumatic stress order to rest.
Yeah.
Well, her blueprint is now in print.
Right.
I believe that the name of her book is Don't Let Them Bury Me. I think that's the name of the book.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't Let Them Bury Me, by Biola Fletcher. And I encourage you to go ahead and order it, read it and put it in your library. Do you guys have anything else you want to say before we sign off?
We're not gonna let them bury her by the fact we're talking about it right now.
I know that's right.
Absolutely.
We're gonna stay woke about this.
And it's not how she began the race, it's how she finished it.
Yes.
And so it was a wonderful life well lived. And now it's up to us. She's passed the baton, and we have to continue her struggle, continue to push forward her legacy, her memory. And again, like I say, just that Tulsa was the latest episode, or one of the later episodes of just the idea of economic and cultural erasure.
But we just can't forget, we talk about Tulsa, we can't forget about Rosewood.
Right.
We can't forget about Seneca Village.
The Freedmen's Bank.
The Freedmen's.
And locally, Texas, can't forget about Sherman, Texas.
That's right.
East Texas, where they burned black people alive.
Yeah.
So our legacy is something that went through a lot of suffering, but we're still here, we're surviving, and we're going to continue to thrive. But that being said, this is contemporary Black Voices, where we're telling our story our way. See you next week.